Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome back for some more exciting Formula One action. The North American Formula Series is here at Circuit Paul Ricard for round 3, the French Grand Prix, as we're getting qualifying underway. We only have enough drivers to do a short qualifying today, so we won't be doing a full quali. Got quite a few drivers headed out on track already, so we'll get tracking them. Alright, so first out of the pits was Newine in the AlphaTauri as he heads down the Mistral straight into the chicane. Just gonna pull up some quick stats here. Alright, it looks like Aston Martin at the moment, after 2 rounds, is leading the Constructors' Championship, followed by Alpine and Ferrari. Stead 6 is currently leading the Drivers' Championship with 37 points, followed quite closely by Buck, a 12-point difference after an unfortunate DNF in Baku. Black Stig currently sitting P3 for Mercedes, actually tied with Buck. So those will be some guys to watch today as Newine heads through turn 1. Looks like pretty cleanly. This is a tricky spot of the track to get the power down. This is a very easy corner to lose grip as he heads through turn 4 onto the long Mistral straight DRS zone. Hop on board with him as he heads into the chicane. Good job there. Looks like we got a spin. Modern Neptune lost it coming out onto the Mistral straight. That is a very, as I said before, very easy spot to lose traction as you exit turn 4. It is quite overcast right now, so it's hard to say if it's going to rain, but we will find out very shortly. Ooh, Newine almost goes wide there. As he comes through turn 9, around into turn 10, onto the pit straight. And this will be the first timed lap of the session. Newine and AlphaTauri setting a 1:31.977. Looks like we got a Red Bull coming around. That is Monkey Mafia. He'll take P1 with a 1:31.827, just a 1/10.5 quicker. Gaba guy unfortunately invalidated in the Williams, so he'll need to take another trip around. Alright, Villeneuve will set a 1:31.238 in the McLaren. That is the time to beat, about 6/10 quicker than Monkey Mafia at the moment. We got a Williams coming across, I believe. That is Hewlett just starting his next hot lap in the Williams. JJ Dog abandoning his lap and diving into the pits. JPR just coming around turn 9 and 10, ready to start his hot lap for Red Bull Racing as he gets that wing open. Tries to get a good quick entry into turn 1 here. Nails it quite well. Can see a Ferrari coming around. That is Galloway. Unfortunately, he invalidated, so he will also need to take another lap around the track. PB Playa in the Haas. On and out lap just coming across the line. Can see another Red Bull coming around. Oh, that is Monkey Mafia on another flyer. He will improve by about 2/10, but he'll stay in P2 at the moment. Gabba Guy coming around the final turn for Williams. He'll bump himself up into P3 with a 131.850. Looks like JB is moving pretty, or sorry, JPR moving pretty quick here in the Red Bull, so I think he's going to try to set a lap here. We'll hop on board the Red Bull as he comes in through turn 9. On that final hairpin, gets on the power. Coming across the line. JPR will take provisional pole with a 137.32, about 5/10 quicker than Villeneuve. Looks like we got a Williams off track. Oh, that was Gabba Guy. Gabba Guy lost it on the exit of the Mistral chicane. That's an unfortunate event for Williams. Miles Galloway stealing pole off of JPR, going 5/10 quicker in the Ferrari. A 132.30 is the time to beat. I can see an Aston Martin coming around. That is NFS Buck, ready for his first hot lap of the session, followed closely by a Mercedes. That'll be Black Stig on his first flyer as well for Mercedes Petronas. His teammate JJ Dog is coming close to starting his hot lap here. Stead 6 also followed closely by the Red Bull JPR. He'll be diving into the pits. Mr. Clean in the McLaren. He was about 6/10 up on his previous time, if I read that correctly. Stead 6, JJ Dog starting their hot laps here. Alright, Mr. Clean coming across the line with a 129.867, 4/10 quicker than M. Galloway in the Ferrari, so that'll be the time to beat now. Alright, we'll hop on board with NFS Bucks in the Aston Martin Racing. He'll abandon his lap and dive in. He wasn't digging it. Hewlett coming around for his first hot lap in the Williams. Oh, unfortunately, Stig invalidated on his lap, went a little wide in one of the corners, so he'll need to take another trip around as he almost loses the back end there as he gets on the power. We'll hop on board with his teammate JJ Dog. See what kind of a lap JJ can put in. Just flinging the silver arrow around. Alright, gets that wing open. Let's see what kind of a time he sets. He's coming across the line with a 129.855. 1/100th of a second quicker than Mr. Clean. That is the time to beat. Mercedes sitting on provisional pole here at Circuit Paul Ricard. Fantastic lap from JJ Dog. Alright, NFS Graham in the Ferrari, about to start his first hot lap of the session. We still have 5 drivers yet to set a time. A slow moving Mercedes on the back there. That's JJ Dog just moving out of the way. Alright, Hewlett is about to cross the line in the Williams. He'll go up into P3 with a 130.112. Oh, and I missed it. Black Stig bumping him down. 1:30.006 for Black Stig in the Silver Arrow. That's a 1-3 Mercedes for the time being. 7 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Monkey Mafia on an outlap. See a McLaren down there. Villeneuve just starting another outlap. We'll hop back on board here with Graham. Still yet to set a lap, but he is on a flyer. As he comes around turn 6 and into turn 7. Looks like he's got a pretty good time going here in the Ferrari as he gets that wing open. Coming by the pits. NFS Graham, 1:29.905, good enough for P3 at the moment. A great lap from him. Monkey Mafia on another flyer as well in the Red Bull Racing. Oh, we got... Oh, Buck just hanging out on the side of the track there. Buck will have to take another trip around to see where he can qualify at. 5.5 minutes remaining here in qualifying. NFS, Buck, and Stead 6 yet to set a time. Monkey Mafia currently 7, almost 8 tenths up on his previous lap. That should definitely move him up in the standings if he can hang on to it coming out of the final hairpin. Racing towards the line, 10th to 4th, 1:29.942 for Monkey Mafia in the Red Bull. Great lap from him. I do see a McLaren coming around, that is Villeneuve. Looks like he's just setting up for another hot lap here as he gets on the power. We got an AlphaTauri coming around as well. That's New Wine just ready to start his next hot lap. JPR, he's going to need to take another trip around, unfortunately. Followed closely by, oh, never mind, Buck diving into the pits. He was on the mediums. I should actually get that out here. Wow, pretty good mix of softs and mediums throughout the grid. No current word if the weather is going to change or not. I mean, it's looking pretty gloomy out there. Alright, Stead 6 opting for the mediums. Oh, as Villeneuve goes way wide there. Oh, he doesn't invalidate. Let's see if he can improve his time. He will not, unfortunately. He's 6 tenths behind. New Wine 5 tenths behind his previous time, sitting at a 1:31.977. Do you see a Red Bull coming around? That is JPR, 4 tenths up on his time, P8. Oh, he'll improve 3 tenths, but he'll stay in P8 for the time being. Oh no, JJ Dog. Oh, sorry, just retired in the pits there. Happy with his 1:29.855, sitting provisional pole with just over 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying for the French Grand Prix. Stead 6 just ready to set his flyer. Bach on an outlap. These guys will have to do a great job of keeping it between the lines here if they want to qualify. We'll just take a quick moment to give a shout out to our sponsors. First off is Chris H Designs. Chris makes fantastic pieces for your sim racing wheels. Check him out on the Etsy shop, Chris H Designs. The next one would be Track Racer. They make some high quality racing rigs. If you need a new race rig, check out Track Racer at trackracer.com. Do you sit at a desk quite often, or are you looking for a new gaming chair? GT Racing has got the piece for you. They make quite a few different styles of chairs in many different colors. Very comfortable, fantastic chairs to use. Check them out at gtracing.com. And last but not least, if you're looking to improve your lap times during your sim racing, check out Driver61. They are the premier driving instructor for sim racing. Check them out at driver61.com. We will get back to qualifying here. Looks like M. Galloway in the Ferrari just ready to start his final hot lap here. New Wine lost it coming out of turn 4 onto the straight as well. So he is out. Second retirement of the session. NFS Buck, P14 to pole position with a 129.793. Aston Martin sitting at the top of the grid, taking JJ Dog down by 0.05 of a second. Right under the wire. That is the end of qualifying here. Buck stealing it away from Mercedes. A few more guys are on flyers, but I don't know if anybody will be able to take him out. Monkey Mafia still on a hot lap for Red Bull. I can see a Mercedes coming around. That is Stig. He's 0.6 up on his time. If he can hang on to that, this'll do it. What an absolute flyer of a lap from Black Stig. And Black Stig steals it with a 128.854. Almost an entire second quicker. I didn't think we would get any more laps like that. Mr. Clean going 129.389 for P2. Miles Galloway coming across the line in the Ferrari, and he'll go P2 with a 128.890. Wait until the very bitter end, and we got guys dipping into the 128s. Just 400s behind Stig and Mercedes. Absolute fantastic laps from these drivers. Monkey Mafia P8 to P4 for Red Bull. We got the top 4 starting on softs. The 4 behind them, 5 behind them starting on the mediums. And that'll finish qualifying here for the French Grand Prix. NFS Black Stig taking pole position for Mercedes with a 128.854. He'll get himself a cool little Pirelli pole position award. As we wait for Buck to retire. And that'll do it here for qualifying for the French Grand Prix here. Tier 2, Round 3 of the North American Formula Series. Stig going the fastest. M. Galloway sitting in P2. Mr. Clean P3. Monkey Mafia P4. Buck sitting 5th fastest for Aston Martin. JJ Dog P6. P7 goes to Stead. 8th Graham. 9th Hewlett. PB Playa sitting in 10th. JPR P11. P12 goes to Villeneuve. P13 Gabaguy. 14th goes to New Wine, and Modern Neptune sitting in P15. And that is your starting grid here for the French Grand Prix. Alright, looks like a nice sunny day here in France. As the drivers get their final setups ready, the top 10 need to stay on the tires that they qualified their fastest time on, whereas the drivers below that get to pick their tire strategy as they wish. So we'll see how that plays out for some of these drivers as the race unfolds. We'll see what kind of tire strategies these guys have chosen as the cars make their way to the starting grid. And we have the formation lap underway. The predicted pit stop strategies brought to you by AWS. Both 2 stops with a soft, medium, and a soft, hard. Mind you, safety cars are somewhat prevalent here in France, so we'll see what will come of that and how that will change some tire strategies of drivers. As Stig leads the way, work our way back through the grid here. The second place Ferrari of Galloway, Mr. Clean in P3 for McLaren. P4, the Red Bull of Monkey Mafia. NFS Buck sitting in P5 for Aston Martin, starting on the mediums. JJ Dog in P6 for Mercedes, also on the mediums. Stead 6 in the Alpine. P7. Graham sitting there in P8 for Ferrari, also on the mediums. Hewlett for Williams in P9. PB Playa in the Haas, sitting in P10. JPR opting for the mediums in the Red Bull for his first stint. Villeneuve sitting in P12. NFS Gabaguy driving the Williams, starting on the mediums here for his first stint of the race. New Wine in the AlphaTauri. Last but not least, Modern Neptune in the Haas, also opted for the medium start. Quite a few medium tires to start this race. We saw the top few drivers there dip into the 128s in qualifying, so we'll see how that pace carries out for the start of the race here as the drivers come around the final turn onto the straight, ready to start the French Grand Prix. We'll hop back up to the front here with Stig. As the cars get set. Alright, here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. As the tension builds, it's lights out and away we go. We're racing here at Circuit Paul Ricard. Black Stig getting a good jump on Galloway as he heads into turn 1. We got a few position changes here. No heavy contact as we head through turn 1. Couple cars go wide to avoid damage. Very clean start here to the French. Oh! Bach goes around the outside of Monkey Mafia. He'll take P5 as they head onto the straight. Monkey Mafia almost losing it there. Alright, now the pit stop strategies change from a medium to hard 1-stop or a soft medium for a 2-stop, so we'll see how that pans out. JPR making up a spot on Hewlett. JJ Dog just squeezing by Monkey Mafia. Monkey Mafia going on the inside. JJ Dog not having it. He'll take P5. Looks like we got another mix-up here on the timing board, showing a couple cars down a lap. Hopefully this doesn't translate throughout the entire race. Stead 6 in a battle here with Monkey Mafia. He's edging him out. Graham closing in on the Red Bull as well. As they head through turn 1, they're going side by side. Stead will hang on to P6. Definitely got some serious issues with the timing board, unfortunately. Let's hope that that works itself out. Bach getting the slipstream off the McLaren as they come down into the chicane, and he'll take P3 from Mr. Clean. Great driving there by Buck. It's very hard to see. These cars are very close. We've got a spun Williams. That is NFS GABA guy. Yeah, unfortunately, that just isn't working itself out, so might have a hard time keeping an eye on some of these gaps here, unfortunately, but we will do our best. Graham and Monkey Mafia in a drag race to turn 1. DRS is now enabled by race control. Oh, Monkey Mafia takes the inside here. Looks like Graham got the better exit. Monkey Mafia will have the inside. Graham will just... Oh, Monkey Mafia is not giving up. Fantastic wheel-to-wheel driving here. Monkey Mafia giving Graham a run for his money. I don't know who was ahead. Graham, he will have slipstream as JPR is also coming around the outside. As they go wheel to wheel. JPR coming out ahead. Oh no. Bach having some sort of issue. Oh, he's missing an end plate. There must have been some contact, or he may have tapped a wall, unfortunately. Looks like Modern Neptune is around in the Haas. Having some grief back there with those medium tires. Unfortunately, Buck's first medium stint won't do him any good. Oh, and Modern Neptune around again. As Buck dives into the pits for a wing change and some fresh tires. Graham and JPR are still in a battle here. Monkey Mafia not too far behind. Stig is sitting out front with a 1.7 second lead on the Ferrari of Galloway. Mr. Clean 1.2 seconds behind him. JJ Dog closing in a little bit here. JPR taking a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. The pressure. Oh no! JJ Dog's around. Oh, and some contact. Graham Monkey Mafia getting penalties. And the Mercedes at JJ Dog is out of the race. We do have a safety car. Our first safety car of the session. That will help Buck out significantly as he's on brand new tires here. We'll see how many guys decide to come into the pits. Monkey Mafia missing his whole front wing. Stig, a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. I'm assuming that was a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, potentially. Or maybe a late decision on a pit stop. Alright, so we've got 7 cars in the pit so far. Galloway, brand new mediums. Stead 6 decided to stay out. And he'll take the lead of the French Grand Prix so far. JPR not too far behind him. Hewlett sitting in P3, New Wine P4, Villeneuve in P5. All those drivers deciding not to pit. Gabagai stayed out. Mr. Clean opting for new hards. PB Playa, new mediums. Graham also opting for the hards. Looking to push those for 23 laps. And he just gets ahead of Monkey Mafia here. Buck. Oh, and he'll snag a couple places as they exit the pits. Just in time. Safety car saves Buck a little bit as he'll make up a couple spots. He was quite a ways back. But this will work for him. This will help New One catch up a little bit as well. He'll be able to get some heat into those tires. I know we'll have at least one more lap here under the safety car. I didn't quite catch the issues we had there with JJ Dog, unfortunately, but we had our first retirement here of the French Grand Prix. As we allow the cars to catch back up. The grid's pretty closely packed right now. I did see another car diving into the pits there, New Wine. Opting for a pit stop, he'll swap off those softs. He'll fall down the grid here as the cars pass the pit. Hopping on to the mediums in the AlphaTauri. I'm thinking we only have one more lap under the safety car, but we'll see. Modern Neptune should be coming up on the back of the pack within a few seconds here. Right now, JPR, the only one on the grid with a penalty that is 3 seconds for exceeding track limits. As you can see, all the cars weaving back and forth, trying to get some heat into those fresh tires. The pace of the safety car isn't the fastest, so that also will cool down these tires as they don't have the energy going in them that the speed and the cornering brings. So we'll see as we near the end of the lap here if the safety car race control is confirmed. Safety car's in this lap. Stead 6 is open to set the pace as he wishes, as he'll let the safety car jump out ahead and he can control the field. Do my best to catch all of the safety car restart action. As they're rounding turn 7 here, only a few more turns to go and we're green. Alright, Stead 6 coming around turn 9 into turn 10 in the hairpin. And he takes off and we're green. We are racing. Oh no! And it almost appeared that Stead 6 might have slowed down and just completely ate off the front wing of the Red Bull of JPR. I couldn't tell for sure. But JPR caught up to him in a hurry. Stig takes over P4 from Villeneuve. JPR is falling down the grid. Not having a front wing is completely destroying the performance of this car as New Wine comes up to the back of the sister team. He'll take a bit of that slipstream to catch up here. I'll move back up. Catch some of this front of the pack racing here. Buck side by side with PB Playa, but he backs out. Graham's looking around the outside. Buck's taking that inside line and he'll take P8 from Graham. Mr. Clean with a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Monkey Mafia closing in on the back of Graham as well. Monkey Mafia goes way wide though. He'll lose some time to Graham there. Stag right on the gearbox instead. As they come through turn 1, JPR retired in the pits, unfortunately. That is the end of the race day for the Red Bull. They do have a reserve driver, but unfortunately won't score any points for the standings. Villeneuve taking a 3-second time penalty in the McLaren, exceeding track limits. Bach only 2/10 behind PB Playa in the Haas. Looks like Hewlett had a bit of an issue there. See, he'll lose a couple positions. Looks like Gabaguy must have left the session there. Hewlett only 2/10 back from Villeneuve. Bach closing in again on PB Playa. The Aston Martin get nice and close to the Haas here. A little bit of a switchback. PB Playa goes deep. Bach comes back on the inside again. He'll go around the outside here. DRS is enabled now. So we'll see some overtakes probably on the straight shortly here. We got three-way battle going into turn 1. Oh, PB Playa almost loses the back end. Monkey Mafia will go around the outside. Nearly around the outside anyways. M. Galloway currently leading on lap 9 here in the Ferrari. Stig about a second and a bit behind him. We'll have a DRS train going down the straight here, about 4 cars deep. So those guys will gain some time for sure. Graham 2/10 back a buck. Monkey Mafia making a move. Oh, and PB Playa is around. Lost it into the entry of the chicane. So he'll need to cool those tires down a little bit. Graham still hunting down Buck here. As they come around turn 7, as long as he can keep within this gap here, he'll have a bit of a run on him down the pit straight. Currently 7/10ths back. They are across the timing line, so he'll have DRS. We'll hop on board the Ferrari here as Stig sets the fastest lap of the session right now with a 1:32.699. That is the second place Mercedes of Stig. Graham gets a bit of a run, closes that gap slightly on Buck. Villeneuve with another 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. The pair of McLarens, the only drivers on the grid right now with a penalty. Graham still only 6/10ths back of Buck. He'll have a good run down the long straight here with the DRS. Close in on Buck here as he's getting a run on Galloway. Mercedes edges him out as they go into the chicane. And Stig will take the lead of the French Grand Prix here on lap 10. See if he can open that gap up ever so slightly. Hewlett making a move on the outside of Villeneuve. That pushes the Williams up into P4, New Wine. Getting a little squirrely in the chicane there, getting passed by the Haas of PB Playa. Oh, and Villeneuve lost it. Coming around turn 6, unfortunately. He did hit the wall, but I can't tell if there's any damage there. Looks there's a bit of side pod damage on the McLaren, but he should be okay. Stig set another fastest lap, 1:32.088. That gets faster and faster as the race goes on. The weather conditions still seem okay here. Lap 11. Track temps are probably increasing just ever so slightly, making those mediums the tires to be on. Villeneuve in the pits. Hewlett taking a 3-second time penalty in the Williams. Mr. Clean is still pretty close here. We'll keep an eye on, try to keep an eye on these gaps as these cars come down the straight here. This is where you'll gain the most of your time. Oh, Galloway almost closed in on Stig there. Mr. Clean going around the outside. Almost. Oh, and he might have made contact there with Hewlett. As Stig takes a big beating on the front end of his car. Stead is also around on the exit of the chicane. We got a VSC. We have a virtual safety car right now as Stead gets back on track in the Alpine. Majorly unfortunate for the Aston Martin of Buck, as he had an issue earlier in the race as well. So he'll need to make another unscheduled pit stop. Buck did start on the mediums, if I recall correctly, so he'll need to make a choice on whether he decides to go with the softs or the hards. My guess is he's going to take the hards to the end of the race here. Galloway is sticking right on the gearbox here of Stig, and we are green. We're racing again. New wing, new hards for Buck in the Aston Martin. Sporting that green helmet for Lakido. New Wine speeding in the pit lane, taking a 5-second penalty. That's a big one. We've got 3 cars in the pits. Buck just leaving. New Wine and Stead also in there. Galloway got a good run on Black Stig as they head in through the chicane on the straight here, but won't quite catch him there. Remaining 6/10ths back. We got pretty big gaps now throughout the grid. This is the closest one on track right now. Stead 6 taking the 3-second time penalty in the Haas. Or in the Alpine, sorry, but Modern Neptune losing it, and we got a safety car You can see his Haas sitting on the side of the track there, completely destroyed. Once again, this changes everything. Craziness ensuing here on the French Grand Prix here. Round 3, Tier 2, second season here of the North American Formula Series. We have our second safety car of the session. One VSC so far, if I recall correctly. We got 5 cars in the pits. That's Stig, Galloway, Hewlett, Monkey Mafia, and PB Playa. Buck was probably closing in on his delta there, so he had to slow down quite a bit. I don't know if he might make up a couple spots here. The safety car's an absolute grace for Buck here, as he'll make up a couple spots, passing some cars in the pit lane, coming out just behind Monkey Mafia. The majority of the grid opting for the hards to go the remaining 14 laps here. It is looking slightly more ominous out. We may see some rain not too far away, but it's hard to say. Knock on wood for the drivers. Monkey Mafia and Stead 6, the only drivers right now on the medium tires. Looking at some comments here, Buck getting both unlucky and lucky here today in the French Grand Prix. Definitely have to agree there. Unlucky with some damage and a safety car coming shortly after. Definitely a saving grace for Aston Martin and Buck, as he's currently sitting P6. We've got a few drivers on 2 stops, not necessarily planned. Mr. Clean leading the race right now for McLaren on 8-lap-old hards, so he'll have to push those at least another 14 laps here. Stig and Galloway behind Graham on brand new hards. So we'll see if the Ferrari driver can fend off Stig and his teammate here. As the grid is pretty close to being caught up here. Lap 14. I imagine we'll be going green on lap 15. Just a quick run through your standings. I know you can see, but Mr. Clean in the McLaren currently leading the race. Graham behind him in P2 for Ferrari. And Mercedes sitting P3, driven by Black Stig. Galloway in P4, Monkey Mafia P5. P6 is Buck in the Aston Martin. Hewlett in the Williams sitting P7. PB Playa sitting P8 in the Haas. New Wine in the AlphaTauri, currently sitting in 9th position. Villeneuve sitting P10 in the McLaren, and Stead 6 in 11th. We've got 4 retirements here so far. Potentially more to come. Alright, the grid is caught up. I imagine we are going to be going green here. The safety car lights should be off momentarily. Race control confirms the safety car is coming in this lap, so Mr. Clean is good to set the pace as he wishes. Everybody trying to get some heat into those tires. Everyone on the hards, with the exception of Monkey Mafia and Stead 6. We'll see how the mediums last for these remaining, I guess technically 14 laps. or 13 laps, mind you. Alright, Mr. Clean just backing him up here. Everyone getting antsy, ready to go. Alright, Mr. Clean coming around the final chicane. And he takes off, getting a good jump on Graham. Oh, and Villeneuve retired. I think he lost it coming around the last corner, unfortunately. Stig right on the gearbox of Graham here. The gaps are super close again, so my apologies if I miss anything here. Oh, Buck going down the inside of Monkey Mafia here. Gets a good run on him as they head into the chicane. Is he going to get ahead? He does. He'll take P5. Great move by Buck. Alright, Stig currently in a Ferrari sandwich here. Looking to get ahead of Graham. Graham on 8-lap older tires than the 2 cars behind him. Stig nice and close. Doing his best to stay out of the back of the Ferrari here. Should get a good slipstream. Heading down into turn 1, he's got his ERS on. He'll go down the inside of Graham. Can he make the pass? He does. He gets by him going into turn 1. Stig taking over P2 here on lap 16. Mr. Clean hanging on to P1 at the moment. So we'll see how long he can hang on to that. Galloway also putting the pressure on his teammate here. Gets a good run, a good exit out onto the straight, and he'll take P3 away from Graham. Lots can happen here though. Buck also putting the pressure on, catching up here. Only 2/10 back of the Ferrari of Graham. Trying to stay in that slipstream. As they come around the quick section of turn 6 here. Good exit there by Buck. Ooh, almost into the back of the Ferrari. I do imagine DRS will be enabled here. As it is, race control confirms. So we'll get some more passes coming up very shortly here as the cars get close to the Mistral Straight. Mr. Clean trying to fend off Stig here, but Stig is closing that gap quite a bit. If he stays close like this, he should have no issues getting by Mr. Clean. I missed Stead making up a spot there. Stig getting a run on him. Is he going to have enough time to do it before the chicane? Just into the braking zone, and Stig makes the move. Buck also getting by Graham, sorry. Graham not giving up too easily though. He's right on the back of him here. Graham backs out a little bit. We got a VSC now. We got a bit of an issue, I think, back there with the AlphaTauri potentially. Maybe the Alpine, hard to say. So the cars will check up a little bit here. As they make sure the conditions are still good. Looks like it actually cleared up a little bit. The sun came out of the clouds there and looking pretty good at the moment. Mr. Clean diving into the pits. Going for some new mediums. See, he'll fall all the way to the back of the grid from P2. The VSC should be over quite shortly here. Stig, currently hanging on to a 1 second lead over Galloway in the Ferrari. Alright, we are green. Graham got a good start on Buck there. We'll see if Graham can push these tires till the end of the race here. Currently over double the amount of laps as the other drivers on the grid. Doing a good job sticking up in P4 there for Ferrari. Galloway sitting 5/10 back of Stig in second place. He will have DRS here as he rounds turn 9 into the turn 10 chicane. Buck taking a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That's devastating to the Aston Martin driver as we get a bit of a DRS train going down the pit straight. Stead getting by the Haas of PB Playa. M. Galloway taking a 3-second time penalty as well for the second place Ferrari. Stead moving up into P7. Monkey Mafia taking a 3-second time penalty for Red Bull Racing. The penalties are starting to plague the grid. Only 3 drivers remaining without penalties. Galloway closing the gap up to about 3/10. Stig getting a good exit on him though, opening it up slightly. Buck sitting in P3, also closing in on the back of the Ferrari. One moment, folks. Right back. Alright, my apologies, I am back. Mr. Clean taking a spot from New Wine. Graham opting to hit the pits here. 6 laps remaining. The Ferrari driver will bolt on some new soft tires as he will fall to the back of the grid. We do know Graham's got some good pace though. Bach right on the back of M. Galloway here, as they'll both have DRS behind Stig. Oh, maybe not. Stig might have opened that up to Galloway. He does. Bach will get a good run on Galloway here, as Galloway fell just outside of the DRS range of Stig. Bach closes that up to about 4/10. Stead 6 taking a 3-second time penalty. Graham 28 seconds back off the lead. So we'll see how he can close that gap up here in 6 laps. Monkey Mafia currently sitting P4 in the Red Bull. Hewlett in P5 for Williams. Stead 6, P6 in the Alpine. PB Playa in 7th position, followed closely by Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean gets a good run out of turn 10 on him, gets DRS, and he'll take 7th position away. Bach only 4/10 back of Galloway here, as he'll get another good run of DRS here. We'll hop on board the Aston Martin. As Buck backs out, he doesn't take the move. He'll hang back in P3 for the moment. Stig currently leading in the Mercedes with a 1.3 second gap. Stig was very close there. Or Buck, sorry. Graham is catching New Wine here. Looking to bump himself up into P9. Bach will have DRS again in the Aston Martin. Is he going to catch Galloway before turn 1? I don't know if he's going to try or not. Oh, he backs out and almost gets into the back of the Ferrari. Galloway going a bit wide there. Oh, and Graham making a pass here on New Wine. I missed it. I didn't see. My apologies, folks. NFS Graham setting the fastest lap of the 1:31.626. Galloway falling off the gap to Stig here, so Bach is going to mount another run at him here into the chicane. Galloway not giving up though, wheel to wheel here, Ferrari and Aston Martin. An age-old battle. We got a drag race down into turn 5. Buck on the outside, Galloway on the inside. Neither driver giving up. Looks like Buck will take the outside line and second place. Fantastic racing here. Monkey Mafia 3/10 back of Hewlett in the Williams. Oh, we got a spun McLaren. That is Mr. Clean. Luckily, doesn't look like any body damage, as Graham makes up a spot on him as well. Just pushing hard to try and make up some spots there on that late pit stop. Graham quick Schumacher again with a 131.449, trying to make sure he gets an extra point for Ferrari. Missed. Oh, we get some contact between the Red Bull and the Alpine. Oh no, instead 6 is missing an end plate here late in the race after a collision with the reserve Monkey Mafia. Galloway falling off a little bit from Buck, holding solidly in P3 though. Buck sitting in P2, trying to close that gap to Stig, the leader. Quite a few penalties plaguing the grid at the moment here. A few 3 seconds there. Stead sitting at 6 seconds worth of penalties. And then a few more seconds for Monkey Mafia, PB player, Mr. Clean also at 6, and 5 to New Wine for that speeding in the pit lane. Stead and Monkey Mafia opting for a late pit stop. Monkey Mafia retiring on lap 25. 9 drivers remain here in the French Grand Prix with 2 laps to go, as Stead will lose a couple positions here. But we'll see if he can make some of those up in the final closing laps here with those new soft tires. Graham really battling himself back here from P10 up into P6, and he's only 3/10ths back of PB player for the 5th place position here. As they come around, he will have DRS, so he'll get a good run on PB playa here, and he'll go around the outside of the Haas as they get into the braking zone for the chicane. Graham up into P5. Showing some resilience here in that Ferrari. Bach was about 1.5 seconds back, and he's currently 1.1 seconds back of the lead Mercedes. Stig doing his best to fend him off. We are on the penultimate lap. Oh, and Hewlett. Oh, my apologies. Got a little excited there. I thought he crashed. Hewlett deciding to retire in the pits here on lap 26. 8 drivers remain. Buck couldn't quite get DRS on the last lap here. Mr. Clean only 3/10ths back of PB playa as they come out of turn 1. We'll stay on board the McLaren for a moment here. As he's stuck within the DRS range of PB playa. He was a little ways back though. I don't know if he'll have enough speed to get it done. As they come into the braking zone, he'll close the gap, but he won't be able to make the move. Well, he gets a really good exit on him, and he'll take P5 from PB playa. New Wine taking a 3-second time penalty in the AlphaTauri. Graham's currently sitting P4. Galloway in P3 for the Ferrari. Buck, he's closing in on that DRS range. He needs to get within a second of Stig. We could have a crazy last lap battle here. We are on lap 27 of 27 here in the French Grand Prix. Can Buck do it? He won't. He won't get within DRS range. Stig absolutely using all of his ERS. Completely completely draining the battery, trying to stay ahead of Buck here. Buck also at the very end of his battery life on the final lap. As we come through turn 6, Black Stig currently leading in the Mercedes. Through turn 7, 8, and into 9. Just needs to hold it together for a couple more turns. Black Stig in the Silver Arrow will come across the line in first place. Black Stig, the winner of the French Grand Prix, followed by Buck in the Aston Martin. Fantastic driving by these two. Buck coming back from some serious, I don't know if you'd call it adversity, having some unfortunate bad luck, losing some wings and stuff early on. Galloway taking third position for Ferrari. And Graham crossing the line in P4 with that's a P3, P4 finish for Ferrari. Some great points for them. Mr. Clean coming across in 6th, but he'll lose out. PB Playa will take 5th position on penalties, unfortunately. New Wine crossing the line in P7. And Stead 6 in P8 for Alpine. What a fantastic race here today in Tier 2. The driver of the day goes to New Wine in the AlphaTauri. Unbelievable. As Stig will take his deserved top step of the podium here. Joined by Buck and Galloway, the traditional spray of champagne. 3 Americans up there. What a fantastic drive. We'll do a quick grid recap. The win going to Black Stig and Mercedes, some well-needed points. Buck taking P2 and P3 going to Galloway. Ferrari taking a 3-4 win here with Graham taking P4 all the way back, clawing his way back from P10. PB Playa in P5. P6 going to Mr. Clean. 7th is New Wine. 8th goes to Stead, and he was the final driver to finish the race as Hewlett, Monkey Mafia, Villeneuve, Modern Neptune, JPR, Gabaguy, and JJ Dog all retired, unfortunately. An absolute crazy race here at Circuit Paul Ricard, sorry. And we'll see if we can get these top 3 drivers in for a quick interview. As we just wait to go to the menu here, sorry. Most of the drivers getting all of the tires in. Buck going medium, medium, hard. Galloway trying them all. Graham trying them all. Stead trying them all. Quite a few different tires. My apologies, folks. Alright, I will see if I can get these guys in here. Can't quite seem to get back to the menu, but... Alright, so we're going to see if we can get NFS Black Stig, NFS Buck, and M Galloway right, we are joined by the third place Ferrari driver, M. Galloway. Congrats on the podium today. Give us a bit of a breakdown on your race. There we go. I don't know, had some sort of grief there. It won't even won't let me go back to the main menu either, so I guess we're just hanging out here.
Yeah, me either.
But congrats. We'll start with the third place driver of Miles Galloway. Congrats on the podium.
Thank you, thank you.
Some good points for Ferrari. Give us a bit of a breakdown on your race.
I gotta say, that was probably the most fun race I've ever raced. That was really fun. I feel like I was chasing Stig the whole time, literally the whole time. And then I looked back and Buck was right there. I was like, oh crap. And then I tried to defend as long as I could, and he was super clean, and it was super fun. And then we went to that right-hander right there at the end. You know what I'm talking about, Buck? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That fast right-hander. I was scared there, I'm not gonna lie. But
I was a little bit too, going outside on you.
Yep. But that was super fun.
You guys held it together well, side by side there. That was good racing.
That was a lot of fun. Lots of fun. Congrats, Stig. That's what I told Graham. I said Stig is going to earn this win because you were flying. Like, that was ridiculous how fast you were that whole race. Even when I was leading, I just never really. I was like, he's going to have to spin for me to win just because you were going so fast.
Yeah. There's a couple. I had a few moments coming out of the back chicane when I got onto the hards.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
And it clicked in my head. It's like, okay, the hards don't have the grip. I can't touch that left apron coming out of there. And so I avoided it after that because I was like, I'm doing so well now. I can't have a mistake and lose this race still. But I will. I don't know if we're talking over somebody. I forgot the question who was asked. So.
No, you're good. Yeah, I guess we'll, thanks to Miles, we'll swap over to Buck. Buck, congratulations on P2. You overcame some adversity, I'd say, with a couple of unscheduled pit stops, but give us a bit of a breakdown.
Well, I thought I qualified really well, with not a lot of practice this race. I did take the softs in qualifying, and I ran about 2 laps on them. But I just didn't set a time so that way I could get a feel for the track. So when I'd go on the mediums, I'd feel a little bit more confident. I didn't have a lot of confidence coming into this, and then I hit P1 in quali, and then I was like, something's not right here. I was like, Stig is not up on the top 5 leaderboard. I was like, something's not right. And then all of a sudden, about 5 seconds later, Stig came across on the softs, and I was like, all right. And then I was like, all right, so medium to hard strategy was my go-to, but I think there was an incident with Hewlett, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
He spun, he got loose, and I was right behind him literally because I was about to pass him, or getting ready to try to pass him, and he got loose on the corner, and I rear-ended him and broke my wing, and that dropped me all the way to last. And then we had the safety car as soon as I broke my wing, so that kind of saved me. And then a couple people retired, which kind of moved me up in the leaderboard. And then I ran into the back of somebody else, or did I run into? No, I spun the first time. That was my first incident. I hit the overtake button coming out of the back chicane, the second one, not the first one, but the second one, kind of.
Yeah.
Like a wider chicane before the second straight, and I hit the overtake a little too early, and it spun me, and I hit the wall, broke my wing, and then I hit Hewlett. But it was an accident. But I think the safety cars kind of saved me really in this race. I think without those, I probably wouldn't be as high as I am right now. And I had a couple moments on the hards. They're definitely very hard to drive on this track. There's not a lot of grip, and the curves will send you off flying. Although I rode the same racing line the whole race that I did in qualifying, so I was all over the curves regardless. But I was just trying to gain time as much as I could to catch Galloway. But me and him going into that long right-hander, that was insane. I literally thought one of us were gonna wreck, or both of us.
Yeah, I
were
did.
gonna out. And the only reason I stayed and I didn't back out was because I noticed that the lap before that Galloway doesn't carry a lot of speed most of the time into that corner because of the tire wear. So I was like, okay, if I go on the outside and I just stay in fourth, or I rev it down to fourth gear, I can kind of cruise around the outside and it'll kind of be a fight on the exit. And that's exactly what happened, but I don't know if I made contact with you or not, Galloway.
Nah, it was just that next turn. I was like, he's got it, so I just backed out because that would have been a tough one.
I didn't know if we made a little bit of contact, and that's why you
Nah.
backed out or not. So, but yeah,
Nope.
overall, it was a good race. After what happened in Baku last week, I will definitely be gladly to take P2 after breaking my wing twice. So.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good comeback race, and I did mention that in the stream too, that the safety cars couldn't have come at better times for you, for sure.
You had a bit of Hamilton luck there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the track is a lot different than it was last year. I mean, with the game mechanics and the curbs and everything. I know I scored, I think, P3 last season in 2020, but for this season, it's just, oh man, it's the first two turns literally will throw you off the track if you don't take it right. So, I mean, you have to hit it right every single time, or else you're going to lose so much time off of it.
Most definitely. Well, thank you, Buck, for joining us, and we will swap over to the race winner, Black Stig and Mercedes. Congratulations on the top step of the podium, and yeah, give us a breakdown.
Well, first, thank you, and congrats to Galloway and Buck. You guys did great. You definitely made me work for it, for sure. But I mean, it seemed like just for qualifying, I put a lap in on the mediums. I didn't want to go back out on them, and I was bumped down to like 8th. And I was like, you know what? Should I? After thinking of the real F1 at the French Grand Prix and Bottas, being mad, saying that the two-stopper was the way to go, I said, you know what, I'm going to go out on softs and start there, and that's what my plan. I went out, put the pole lap time in, and like what, 4 other drivers followed, behind me.
Yep.
So that gave me a good starting position, or the best starting position, and then throughout the race it was try to stay ahead, and then pit strategy really. Going in and getting on that first safety car, taking the mediums, and falling back to I think 4th or maybe 5th. And
that restart was ridiculous, by the way.
It was pretty crazy, yeah. And I mean, following by, and when I got up behind Stead after turn 2, he got a little back end kicked out, and it slowed him down. So I took the left side. Well, then he sort of moved over, and I had to go off the track, and I almost hit one of the signs just to avoid him, but got past him, and it was just set my sights on the next person, which would have been either Graham or Galloway. And it kind of drives me just to, all right, let's see where he's faster, let's see where I can make up time. And then after that, the next safety car where I just gotten the lead back, I got to give mad credit to JJ. Unfortunately, he crashed out again. He really had a game glitch issue this time, so I can't really be mad at him for that. But he was the one who's like, go in the pit. Like, it was literally like coming around that corner, and he's like, pit for hards. And I said, okay. He goes, because Galloway's got to pit anyways, and you'll have the tires for the rest of the race. So I think, like, back to Baku, where Stead pitted where I didn't for mediums, and he was able to have the mediums for the rest of the race and take the win. That was my moment right there. So if it weren't for that, for JJ telling me right then and there, kind of being my race engineer, which I will tell you helps so much to have a race engineer of what's going on.
It really does.
It really does. Yeah, if you don't have a game plan or a strategy, I would prefer to have him racing and scoring points with me, but as a consolation, I guess, a constellation? No, consolation.
Constellation, yeah.
We're not talking about stars here. But then, yeah, after that, it was just keep him clean, and I don't need to push too hard because I got 2 warnings, and I didn't want to join the 3-second time penalty group. So
You should have. It was a lot of fun.
Those penalties, the penalties on this game are a joke, by the way. Just want to make that opinion pretty clear. I'm losing the back end and I'm getting penalties. That's about how it goes.
I hear you, but that's really my race. It's been I had maybe two last Sunday after Baku, I had an hour or so of practice, and then this week I had maybe one more other day, and then that was it because we closed on my house and we moved in yesterday.
Right.
So I'm not even at the new house right now. I'm still at the house I was at before because I wasn't going to be able to get the TVs installed or anything.
Try to get everything moved over.
Yeah, this is the best possible outcome I could have after this whole week. So, but yeah, congrats to the other guys too.
Most definitely. Yeah, congrats to you as well. Well, thanks
you.
for joining me, guys. And yeah, once again, congrats on the podium, and good luck in Belgium next week.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that was really fun. Y'all.
Man, we got F1 in Belgium, and we got our league in Belgium next week.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, nice. So.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You as well. All right, that was your podium finishers here for the French Grand Prix, led by Black Stig in the Mercedes, Buck in P2 for Aston Martin, and P3 going to M. Galloway in the Ferrari. A lot of safety cars, a lot of drama, just some fantastic racing. So make sure to pop back in the same time, same place next week as we head to Belgium for a race at Spa. Thanks for joining, and talk to you later.